70% of men are choosing to stay single. And I don't even blame them, and this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. A lot of men are saying, we choose to be single, we're not gonna deal with this anymore, and I get it.
I would rather die as a single man, having never gotten laid before, than wife up a lady who's absolutely contentious.
More of a man's view in this day, and he's like, I don't want to invest time and money and everything in a girl.
They have discernment around short-term dating and mating versus long-term dating and mating, making men the enemy for not wanting to commit to women who are not up to the standards that men have when it comes to choosing a woman to commit to long-term.
Why a lot of men love being single. Fortunately for a lot of men, relationships are insanely expensive.
Something is clearly shifting in modern relationships, and people are starting to notice. More men are stepping back from dating, setting stricter boundaries, or opting out entirely, while many women are left wondering what changed. Is it about standards, respect, past experiences, or something deeper in today's culture? The conversation is getting louder, but the truth might not be what you expect.
Here's why you should never get married. In 2023, guys, unfortunately for us men, the marriage laws are not in our favor. Look at famous celebrities like Tyrese, Dr. Dre, Jeff Bezos, guys who have made it with plenty of money and suffered greatly through a divorce. Guys, 50% of my money I cannot afford to give away through a divorce. I refuse to give away through a divorce. And I think until marriage laws change, there's no incentive for men to get married. And if a woman truly loves you, she doesn't need you to marry her through the state. You can take care of her, provide for her, but if there's a greater risk for you to do this, then you should not do it. So as a man, 2023, until the marriage laws change, don't you dare sign them papers and marry a woman.
Or transfer everything to someone else's account like your parents, so if she divorces you, she doesn't get anything. There's a prenup and you marry who you love and want to grow old with. You don't enter a marriage with a mentality of divorce.
It's Valentine's Day, and 70% of men are choosing to stay single. And I don't even blame them, and this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. Dating in this generation is so impossible, and I can talk about it for literally days. It feels like every single woman in this generation is either a gold digger or a bop or both. And so yeah, a lot of men are saying, we choose to be single, we're not gonna deal with this anymore, and I get it. I wouldn't either. That sounds awful. I just saw someone say something today about how I would rather be single than settle. And yeah, me too. I get it. That's me too. But it's crazy because you'll see women come online and be like, men are so sad and they're so single and they're so alone, but not me. I'm having a good time, just the men are having a bad time. And it's like, girl, be so serious for 2 minutes. Anyway, so happy Valentine's Day to all the singles out there. We see each other. We're right there.
I also hate how women say they don't want guys to talk to other girls or have options, then when they meet a guy who doesn't have other girls he's talking to, they don't want to be the only option because they feel like it's too easy. We literally can't win.
Let's be honest. Marriage is officially the worst investment a man can make in 2026. We keep asking why men are staying single, but look at the actual cost-benefit analysis. He's expected to be the provider, the protector, and pay every single bill on time. And what does he get in return? A permanent roommate who's grumpy 6 days a week. We've reached a point where men are subsidizing their lifestyle for women who don't even like them. If a man ran his business the way he runs his marriage, he'd be bankrupt in a month. He's putting in 100% of the capital for a 1% return on intimacy if he's lucky. Since when did once a month become the standard for a high-performance partnership? Ladies, we can't demand traditional provision while offering zero traditional peace. Modern women want a CEO husband, but offer the attitude of a disgruntled middle manager. Why would a rational man sign a contract where he loses half his assets if she gets bored? It's not fear of commitment. It's a basic understanding of a bad trade. We've priced ourselves out of the market and we're wondering why the buyers are leaving. If there's no peace, no intimacy, and no financial logic, what exactly is the benefit here?
Men have learned not to enter into a contract where the man has everything to lose and the woman has everything to gain. Courts still heavily favor the woman. Men, stay single and happy.
I am okay to finish my life being single. Being
Mason,
single.
Come on,
Hey,
that's not going to happen.
I would rather die as a single man, having never gotten laid before, than wife up a lady who's absolutely contentious, who makes me want to sit in the corner of my roof, who makes me want to run out into the desert and die there.
Proverbs 21:19.
I would rather be single for the rest of my life, because that sounds so much better.
I think this is becoming more of a man's view in this day and time. My
Agreed.
son is 18, and I was like, you don't want to have a girlfriend? He's like, I don't want to invest time and money and everything in a girl that I don't want to marry that's been with all my friends.
I don't think people realize this is going to become extremely common, where men, like generally speaking, in their nature, don't really need other people with them. I mean, I can go to church. I have my boys at church. Like, that's my community. I don't need to have a wife. I definitely want one, but I don't need it. Whereas women in general, psychologically, sociologically, they need that partner. And when we find women who are single in their 50s and 60s, they are crushed.
55 years old, been single and celibate for almost 14 years. I'm in the best shape of my life physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. I have peace and no drama. I answer to no one and do as I please. Women try to say this type of stuff, but they don't truly mean it. As soon as she thinks rationally and not emotionally, she wants kids and a house and someone to take care of her.
So let me pick up where I left off. Fellas, you keep saying I'd rather stay single. Women are too much. I don't need the headache. I get it, but let's be real. That is crap. You don't actually want to die alone with a freaking gaming console and a fridge full of frozen pizza. You don't, because guess what? Biology doesn't lie. Men and women were designed for each other. That is masculine and feminine polarity. That's not just some TikTok buzzword. That is nature. That's why when you're with the right woman, everything in your life sharpens. Your drive, your purpose, your discipline, everything. Now, sure, being single is easy. No drama, no compromise, no responsibility. But easy gets old. The hookups get boring. The soulless sex gets depressing. The silence in your house starts getting loud. And then what? You're 40, 50, 60 years old. Nobody by your side. Nobody in your bed. Nobody to build with. That is not freedom. That's failure. Here's the truth. Men need women and women need men. That's a beautiful balance. That's order. That's how we're wired. The problem, though, is too many men give up before they figure us out. They throw their hands up like it's too complicated instead of leaning in and cracking the damn code. When you do crack the code, life gets great. You get respect. You get loyalty. You get passion. You get peace in your home and fire in your bedroom. That's not a bad deal if you ask me. That's a jackpot. So stop lying to yourself that staying single forever is the move. It's not. Master your woman. Don't run from her, because the man who figures out his woman is the man who truly wins at life.
Men are perfectly happy with that arrangement. Actually, I know a few old guys that stayed single and they were still happy and had cool hobbies.
Why do you think so many men feel like the dating game is stacked against them right now?
God. Men are continued to be persuaded into selecting women who are signaling for short-term dating. And the reason that I say that is men, and this is proven across time, across cultures, they have discernment around short-term dating and mating versus long-term dating and mating. And the reason that that's important is women now, with the cultural changes, with feminism, with the influence of empowerment via promiscuity, they're all signaling for short-term mating strategies. And so men are attracted to these women. They'll sleep with these women. They certainly will come, but they don't stay. And so women say that they want long-term partners, and the expectation of men is to be everything that a long-term mate would be, but they're not signaling the right things for men to commit to, nor would they want to. And so now it's making men the enemy for not wanting to commit to women who are not up to the standards that men have when it comes to choosing a woman to commit to long-term. And so the confusion and the frustration for men is that there are no viable, not many viable mates as far as options when it comes to somebody that they could actually settle down with, commit to, and build a family with. And so the frustration for men is valid. They're not confused, they're wise. And women can either continue to attack men and say that they shouldn't have standards, or they're insecure, or they're controlling, or they're whatever they want to label them, to deflect any level of accountability or awareness around maybe their behavior or the way that they present themselves or how they carry themselves or their history with access and sexuality is not at all what men actually want nor look for when it comes to a woman to settle down with.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't care about my image. I've always wanted my own family to take care of. I want to be the father that I never had, and I want to be the best husband I can be for no other reason than taking care of my family.
Why a lot of men love being single. So ladies, if you're watching this is what you're up against and what you're competing against. 1, he can enjoy all of his hobbies without being nagged or put down or his hobbies made fun of. His friends might lightly tease him, but for the most part, they're probably into the same hobbies he is, and he's gonna have so much fun with them. So if you're in a relationship with a man, make sure you show full support for his hobbies. 2, he doesn't have to worry about financially serving anybody. Unfortunately, for a lot of men, relationships are insanely expensive. There's always that joke that he went to the restaurant without his girlfriend and he only had to spend like $10. Whereas with his girlfriend, he would have spent $50. Now that's probably an exaggeration, but you get what I'm getting at. And next, they can live and decorate the way they want to. They don't feel the need to have all these weird items around the house for no apparent purpose other than to collect dust. They can have that simple, minimalist setup that looks clean and beautiful, and it's effortless to maintain.
This is right though? You should always be happy single. A relationship should enhance your life, not be the source of all your joy. That don't like being single, but I'm at peace, no drama, having more money. Women expect high expectations, but they don't do the same?
A third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. So my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking, we like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
You know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away. And we're walking away in droves, and it's only going to get worse because you're not hearing why we're walking away. It's very simple. Don't read between the lines. Hear these words. There is absolutely no benefit anymore to being in a relationship with a woman for a man. None. Zero. Zilch. Especially when you consider the risk compared to any potential reward. Roughly 55% of marriages end in divorce and the guy loses everything. Add into it all the relationships where they weren't married and the guy lost access to his kids and had to pay mountains of child support and so on. When you really look at it, there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of having a successful relationship. Would you risk everything you have? Would you risk your children and having access to them, knowing you only had a 25% chance of success? I doubt it. Add to it the expectations that today's women have are beyond absurd. We all joke about the 6s, but the reality is that is most women's expectation. You expect men to give, and offer nothing in return. I'm not saying any of this to be mean, but I am being blunt in hopes you'll hear it, because we've said it over and over and over again. And yet, you're still asking us, why are you walking away? That, in a nutshell, is the crux of the problem. You ask us, but you don't want to hear the response. And if you hear it, you don't want to accept it. My honest advice to you ladies is this. Get a mirror, look in it, and ask yourselves, what are we offering to men? Why should men want to be with us? And if your answer is things like you have a great career or job, or that you're going to cook and clean, none of that matters to us. Not in the least. What matters to us? Peace, loyalty, and acknowledgement. Something very, very few women give to their man. And until you're willing to give that, until you're willing to set aside your ridiculous expectations, those numbers you mentioned are only going to get worse.
I think men and women are finding the same things. We don't really need each other and the payoff is not enough. Why are we done? I've been on too many first dates that are like job interviews where the girl wants me to show them my bank account info.
You want to know why most good men remain single, myself included? It's because all of us have had times in our life where we're doing perfectly fine on our own. We're financially set. We're living life on our own. We don't need anybody. But they happen to come into our life, make us feel like maybe this is the one time that she's going to make me feel special. say things like, you're a catch, you're my dream man, you're so this, you're so that, I can't believe I found you, I can't believe I'm so lucky to have you in my life. Only to do what? To push him out of your life and act like strangers. The same thing you were before you met. So why even bother me? Why even bother that man? Why? Good men, like myself, it's not that we can't get a woman, it's because every time we try, we're shown exactly why we're better off alone. And instead, these women want to go after the guy that doesn't want.
Being married was my loneliness years. Making someone feel alone when you're in their presence is one of the cruelest things you can do to your partner. So no thanks, I am happier on my own. At its core, this isn't just about men checking out or women being left behind. It's about a growing disconnect in expectations, communication, and values. Both sides are reacting to their own experiences, often without fully understanding the other. Until there's more honest dialogue and accountability on both ends, this divide will keep widening, leading more people to choose independence over connection in modern dating. You're watching Modern Dating Logic, where we keep it real, not emotional. If you're ready for more truth the world avoids, you know where to find me.